In this video, we are going to see relatively tougher examples regarding time and work. According to the question, Warner does a work in 40 days while Chris takes 30 days to do the same work. If they work together for a few days before Warner leaves, Chris completes the remaining work in 6 days. How many days altogether they need to complete the whole work? So let's see. Let us denote Chris by C and Warner by W. According to the question, in 14 days Warner can complete one complete work. In one day he gonna do less work than that of the complete, so 40 times less. So in one day he can do 1/40 work. Similarly, Chris can do one complete work in 30 days. In one day he gonna do 1/30 part of the work. Since they work together for few days, so we're gonna find how much they do in one day. If they work together in one day, Chris and Warner can complete 1/40 plus 1/30, which is 7/120 part of the work. Now let us assume that they work together for X days. If they can do 7/120 in one day, in X days they're gonna do 7/120 times X, the amount of work. This is the amount of work that Warner and Chris completes. What will be the remaining work? The remaining work will be 1 minus 7x over 120, because if you subtract the work done from the total work, you're gonna get the remaining work, and we got this as our remaining work. But from initial condition, we know that in 6 days how much Chris completes, because in 30 days Chris can complete one complete work. In one day he can do 1/30 part of the work. So in 6 days he can do 1/30 times 6, which is 1/5 part of the total work. So this is the amount of work Chris can do in 6 days, and this is the remaining work which Chris completes in 6 days. So these two must be equal. So 120 minus 7x over 24 equals to 1/5. So if we're gonna solve it, we're gonna get 120 minus 7x equals to 24. On solving it, if we're gonna solve it for x, you get 7x equals to 96, and if you divide both sides by 7, you're gonna get 96/7. But this is the days, that Chris and Warner work together. So in order to get the total days, we're gonna add 6 to that number, which is 96/7 plus 6, to get 19.7 days. So they work 19.7 days to complete the whole work. This is how we can do this problem. Now let us see another problem. It's even more tougher, but if you understand the core concept of unitary method, you can do that. Let me read the question. Jackie had a contract to finish painting in 32 days. She assigned 28 employees in the beginning, but they just finished 2/3 of the work after 24 days. How many more employees must Jackie add in order to complete it on time? So let me highlight few key points over here. We have to be able to know the remaining work and remaining days. Then after, let us see remaining work. Remaining work is 1 minus 2/3, because 2/3 is already done in 24 days. What will be the remaining part? 1/3. What is the remaining days? Because the total days we can take is 32 days, but 24 days had already been taken by these 28 employees. So how many more days they can take is 32 minus 24 equals to 8 days. So after finding these two values, what we're gonna find is we're gonna find in 8 days 1/3 of the work. If we want to do 1/3 of the work in 8 days, we're gonna see how much employee we can have. Then from there we're gonna subtract the initial employee Jackie assigned in order to find the extra employee she must add. Let's see. In 24 days, 2/3 of the work is done by 28 employees. This is from the question. If you want to find in one day, I'm keeping the work constant. If you want to find in one day, you need more employee or less employee. Obviously you need more. So how much more? This employee times 24. So it's 672 employees. Now let's see, in one day the whole complete work is done by, we need even more employee. So we're gonna multiply by 3/2. If you're gonna multiply 3/2 over here, I mean to say over here, we're gonna get 1. So from here we multiply both sides by 3/2 because work and employee have a direct relationship. If you can see, in one day the whole complete work is done by 1008 employee. Let's see, in 8 days the complete work can be done by less employee because we have 8 days. So 1008 over 8 is 126 employees. But in 8 days we are supposed to complete only 1/3 of the work. So in 8 days 1/3 of the work is done by 126 over 3, which is equal to 42 employees. So we find that we must need 42 employees in order to finish the work in 8 days, remaining 8 days. So what is the number of employees she must add is 42 minus initial amount of employees she assigned, which is 28. So we're gonna get 14 employees. Therefore 14 employees must be added by Jackie in order to complete it on time. In this type of problem, the key point is you must find the remaining work and remaining days. Then in remaining days, remaining part of the work, you must find how many employee you need. Once you find that number, you're gonna subtract the initial employees to get the additional employees you must add in order to finish the assigned work on time. This is how we can do this kind of problem. I think this will help you to enhance your knowledge in time and work. Thank you. Stay safe.